Welcome to the Randy Report. I'm Randy Slovacek, your host. I'm also the writer and editor of therandyreport.com, where you can find me every single day on the internet reporting on the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. In this week's headlines, over 100,000 people marched in London's Trans Plus Pride event over the weekend, making it the biggest trans pride march in the world. The creative team behind the acclaimed web series Where the Bears Are is back with the hilarious and touching documentary titled A Big Gay Hairy Hit, Where the Bears Are, the documentary. Plus, new music from out-country rocker Bryan Ruby. All that and more in this episode of The Randy Report. Over 100,000 people marched in London's Trans Plus Pride event on Saturday, making it the biggest trans pride march in the world. The event's theme, Existence and Resistance, was developed in response to the recent UK Supreme Court ruling that the legal definition of a woman in non-discrimination law is based on biological sex rather than gender identity. The march began at 1 p.m. on Saturday and proceeded nearly 2 miles, from near the BBC Broadcasting House to the Parliament Square Gardens. The event's speakers included Heartstopper actress Yasmin Finney and activist Caroline Littman, whose trans daughter took her life in 2022 after waiting nearly 3 years for gender-affirming healthcare. London Trans Plus Pride began in 2019 as an alternative to the city's more commercial Pride March. This year's event gained over 40,000 additional participants, compared to last year's crowd of 60,000. Bobby Harding, a spokesperson for London Trans Plus Pride, said the group was delighted at the turnout, adding, "We are more determined than ever to show up and let people know that we deserve a place on this earth." The creative team behind the acclaimed web series Where the Bears Are returns with the hilarious and touching documentary titled A Big Gay Hairy Hit, Where the Bears Are, the documentary. The new doc film tells a story of how 3 older gay bears working in Hollywood, tired of having their gay-themed ideas rejected by the mainstream, decided to self-produce their own web series. Against all odds, the comedy featuring 3 bear roommates like the Golden Girls, solving crimes a la Murder, She Wrote, became a sensation online and one of the most successful web shows of all time. The documentary examines ageism, body shaming, sex positivity, the creative process, and how friendship and community can ultimately create something beloved all over the world. Where the Bears Are debuted in August 2012 and continued for 7 seasons. I immediately became a fan of the show's irreverent, over-the-top shenanigans. You can find my extensive reporting on the show at therandyreport.com. Check out A Big Gay Hairy Hit, Where the Bears Are, the documentary, available now to rent or buy on all major streaming platforms. According to a new poll conducted by YouGov, queer people in the UK are significantly less comfortable making public displays of affection than their straight counterparts. The study, which surveyed nearly 3,000 UK residents, found that 71% of gay men and 66% of lesbian women often avoid showing affection to their partners in public to avoid discrimination. Gay men were most likely to express discomfort about PDAs, with 63% saying they would feel uncomfortable kissing their partners in public, and 56% saying they would feel uncomfortable holding hands. Meanwhile, 49% of lesbians said they felt uncomfortable kissing their partners in public, and 28% said they felt uncomfortable publicly holding hands. It's worth noting that these fears of discrimination, and even violence, aren't unfounded. 2/3 of gay men and lesbian women reported being the target of homophobic discrimination while showing affection to their partners in public. According to the UK government, for the year ending March 2024, there were over 22,000 reported hate crimes related to sexual orientation, and nearly 5,000 reported transphobic hate crimes. I think it's interesting to note that in the realm of homophobic finger-pointing by some people in the heterosexual world, we're often told that they're fine with us being gay as long as we don't, quote, shove it down their throats. And yet, when it comes to an act as benign as holding the hand of those we love, folks in the LGBTQ community know there's a risk that heterosexual people don't face. Out-country rock singer-songwriter Bryan Ruby has released his brand new EP, Growing Season, a 4-song snapshot of small-town grit and heartland pride. Ruby's journey into country music hasn't followed the traditional Nashville blueprint. Before he ever stepped into a studio, he chased pro baseball through Guatemala, Cuba, Mexico, Germany, and Chile, riding overnight buses, carrying cleats in his backpack, and betting on himself over and over. One track from the new collection, Growin' on Me, is a high-energy country anthem about how time reshapes dreams, balancing restless ambition with the quiet pull of home, love, and stability. Blending nostalgia and self-discovery, the song embraces the idea that growth doesn't mean giving up on the future, it just might look different than expected. In a press statement, Ruby shares, quote, "This EP is my vulnerable moment with fans, about how far I've come and a promise that I'm dedicated to the challenges yet to come," end quote. Let's take a listen to Growin' on Me by Bryan Ruby.
On taking over New York City, a few weeks of seeing strangers on the subway had me turning back when the grass is a little more green. This water tower town is growing on me. I turned 21, was the life of the party for a couple years. It was real hard to stop me. Now these days I'll take my guitar and some whiskey, 'cause the night at home is growing on me. As I'm growing up this life I love ain't what I thought it'd be. My plans have changed from the good old days when I knew everything. Ain't ready to buy a house, start getting old now. But somewhere in my soul there's a settled down seed, and it's growing on me. Yeah, it's growing on me. Oh, oh, oh. I was pretty damn sure I'd be single forever. Now my heart is thinking, boy, never say never. 'Cause if I get a little tangled up with the right somebody, yeah, planting roots is growing on me. As I'm growing up this life I love ain't what I thought it'd be. My plans have changed from the good old days when I knew everything. Ain't ready to buy a house, start getting old now. But somewhere in my soul there's a settled down seed, and it's growing on me. It's growing on me. So yeah, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing on me. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing on me. Everybody is growing, it's growing, it's growing on me. Yeah, this crazy life I love is growing on me. As I'm growing up this life I love ain't what I thought it'd be. My plans have changed from the good old days when I knew everything. Ain't ready to buy a house, stop getting old now. But somewhere in my soul there's a settled down seed. Yeah, somewhere in my soul there's a settled down seed, and it's growing on me. Oh, it's growing on me. Yeah, it's growing on me. Alright.
A reminder, Bryan Ruby's new EP, Growing Season, is available now wherever you get your music. And that brings me to the end of this episode of The Randy Report. If you enjoy catching up on LGBTQ news in a quick podcast, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. I like to think of The Randy Report as the 60 minutes of gay news, only shorter. And remember, you can find me every single day on the internet at therandyreport.com, where I cover the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.